Hi everybody, it's Al, and I wanted to do a quick video on an AR that I put together recently. I bought the strip blower from Argons, which is a company based out of Carpentersville, Illinois, argons.net. And I don't know if you can see that. That's the lower receiver there, and I probably ordered it, I think it was in January. No, actually, I think it was in December. And it took a while to get it. I think I ended up receiving the lower receiver in April. And then I ordered the upper receiver in March and just got it like maybe 3 weeks ago. But it was a full, complete upper, all but not put together. It has an A3 upper with a guard, and because I just wanted to build the M4, same thing that we shot in the military when I was in the Air Force. So that's what I ordered. I'm not into, the tactical stuff, so that works for me. I have another AR. I have a Bushmaster Carbon 15, which is a lot lighter because it's all carbon fiber upper and lower receiver, and that has a aim point type red dot sight. But when you run out of batteries, no matter how many batteries you take, even an extended outage, you're going to have to revert back to regular sights. So that's what I have there. So anyways, what I wanted to do is do a video on the cleaning, or not the cleaning, but the lubrication on the AR-15. A lot of people don't realize the AR-15 platform likes to run wet, essentially dripping wet. What I mean by that is it likes to run well lubricated. If you don't, and you're going to shoot a lot of rounds, it's going to heat up pretty quick, it's going to dry up pretty quick, and it's going to start malfunctioning on you. So it's very necessary to keep it well lubricated, and I do it a little differently, and I'll show you what we used to do in the military to get it to work reliably. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to push the pin out. My pin is actually pretty hard to get out, so I use a drift pin, and I just push on it, get it out. So there's my upper right here. Right. So now what we're gonna do, we're just gonna pull this guy out, and I'm gonna show you really the important parts of lubrication when it comes to the AR platform. So let's go ahead and move the camera closer so we can see kind of what's going on here. So the first thing we're gonna look at is the bolt carrier, and what we're going to do is we're going to take it apart. So let me lay that down, grab me some pliers, grab me some grease, and I'm going to show you how I do it. Okay, so what I do, let me move that around a little bit. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to pull that the retaining pin out for the firing pin. So we're going to take the retainer out, lay it down here. We're going to push the bolt back all the way, and we're going to pull out the firing pin, and now we're going to rotate. We're going to rotate this piece right here 90 degrees. Normally when you get it, when the firing pin is in it, it's in this position. So once you push that bolt in, right, you're gonna tip it like that, the firing pin will fall out, and then you're gonna turn that, and you're just gonna pull it out, and that's all you're gonna do, and it comes out pretty easily. There it is. Okay, so now you can pull this out. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to show you how to properly lubricate the AR so it's very reliable for you. I just shot it yesterday, so it's dirty. So part of what we're going to do is just going to do a very quick cleaning, nothing major. Just whatever we need a shot. I think it's 80 rounds, so it's not completely grunge. But here's what 80 rounds will do to a firing pin. You see how you have all that carbon building in there? So it's very important to keep it lubricated, because that direct impingement system, what it does is the gases from the from firing the round, as it travels down the bore, some of those gases are redirected over to the bolt carrier through this guy right here, and then it travels down, and inside the bolt carrier pushes it back, kind of like a piston action, and you know, and then it works like that by ejecting the round and chambering the new one on the way forward from the buffer spring, pushing back on the bolt carrier. So that's kind of how that works. Normally, in the process of cleaning, you would want to stick a Q-tip or a pipe cleaner in here. I only shot 80 rounds, so I'm not gonna do it. But if you fire, you know, a few hundred rounds in it, you might want to go ahead and push a pipe cleaner through that little hole here, right? And make sure that you get that cleaned out, okay? And also the inside here. So the AR platform, for it to work reliably, you really need to run it wet. And there's not a whole lot that you have to do. The easiest way to do it is to apply high temperature grease to only 4 bearing surfaces. The bolt carrier only has 4 bearing surfaces. That's one right here. That's another one right here. So you can see the face, there's a little bit of, you know, marking here, so you might want to put a little bit on there. The other one is here, and then the last one is here. So all the way around the back side of it, or I should say the front side of it, you have 4 bearing surfaces. That's the only place this bolt carrier slides in and out, or back and forth in the upper receiver. So that's what you want to have greased up. What I do is I use high temperature grease. In my particular case, I use Shooter's Choice grease, but I'm here to tell you that in the Air Force we used to use wheel bearing grease for vehicles, because it's high temperature and it works just as well. And so when I run out of my Shooter's Choice I make, just go ahead and get some of that, since I have a lot of it. But I already had that Shooter's Choice handy here in my room. I didn't feel like going to get the wheel bearing grease. I don't have the wheel bearing grease in a can. I only have it in tubes, so it's not all that handy for me. So here we go. Got a little bit more grease on there. We'll put it on the other bearing surface here. Other bearing surface here. We keep grabbing what comes out. Put it here. So essentially you want to put it on all 4 rails, right? There we go. So now that's all greased up. The other area that you want to put grease in is on the bolt itself. And all you want to do, right, is you want to go across the surface of the locking lugs. And that's really all you want to do. And you don't have to put a whole lot of it. You just kind of get a little bit in there, and that's all you want to do. And then put a little bit back here, right, where the gas rings are. And that's about it. We're going to lubricate the extractor in a different manner, but from a reliability perspective, that's about all we have to do for right now. So we're going to go ahead and put that bolt back in there, okay? Now, the charging handle, it's another area that you want to put grease in, because, you know, they're offset, and a lot of people will find that they have more wear on the right hand side, because when they pull on it kind of cocked sideways when you pull back on this release lever. So it wears out more on this side, so be careful you don't do that. Pull it evenly on both sides. But it helps a lot when you grease that guy too. Remember, when these guns are firing, they're gonna get very hot, especially if you're the kind that, you know, are trigger happy. So having a little bit of grease on the charging handle, it's a very good idea. So that's what I do. Now all we have to do is, with the same grease that you had in your fingers, which is enough, we're gonna go ahead and we're going to grease that pin. Actually, there's more dirt coming out of there. I don't think I cleaned it, so let me clean that real quick, and then we'll apply some grease to that guy. Okay, so that guy's cleaned up. Now apply some grease to it. We got that guy greased up. So all you gotta do now is line up the hole so that you can put that pin right in that hole here. So we turn it a little bit so I can see it. Stick my pin in there. Make sure I can see it well. Yep. Stick my firing pin retainer in there. Let's see. Come on. Doesn't work as well when I'm not looking at it. There we go. Now we slide the firing pin in. Where did I put my firing pin? There we go. Take the firing pin, slide it in there. It'll slide all the way in. And then get your cutter pin, push it in there, and you're done. Now all we have to do is assemble the bolt. I'm gonna show you a little bit more of what we have to do. We're not fully done yet, so we're gonna stick the charging handle in there. And once you put it in, remember to pull the bolt forward, and that'll allow you to stick it in there. Now, we're not completely done yet, because there's a couple other things that you want to do with this rifle. Let me turn it around so you see it. So if you look carefully, let me see if I can bring it close in there. If you look carefully, there are two holes on the side of the bolt carrier, and those two holes are lubrication ports. You can see them right there. Okay, that's what gets some lubrication inside that firing pin. As you saw, I did not lubricate that firing pin. So what you want to do is you want to get a couple of shots of CLP in there, and that gets that lubricated. Okay, the other piece that you want to do is you want to do some lubrication. I probably should take this off here, it'll be easier. You'll probably want to lubricate the trigger assembly right here, and that's an easy thing to do because there's not that many parts. Just put some CLP in every one of the pivot points right there. Let me put this back in here again because I'm not able to get to the trigger. Release the trigger first. So again, lubricate here, right there. Well, let me see. I'm messing with the button inadvertently. So lubricate right there. You can see that. And then lubricate right there, and you can see that. That's the only 2 points on the trigger assembly you have to lubricate. The other thing that I want you to lubricate with grease and not CLP is the retaining pins for the upper right here, and then the last one, the last one, which is right here. I already lubricated mine, so that's something you only do once a year or something like that. Not something you have to do all the time, but it sure makes it easier. So now that we're done, we just reassemble our weapon back. And now what we need to do, what we need to do is simply just cycle that guy a couple times. Right? And she's good to go. So that's what will make your AR happy. Always carry a small tube of grease with you if you're going to be out for extended periods, but certainly use CLP and take it with you. You can get a small tube, squeeze tube, that you could put in those holes, and as long as you keep that lubricated in the bolt carrier, you should be fine. But the high temperature grease will work a lot better for you for a much longer period of time. Your gun will work flawlessly, and you won't have any problems with it. Alright, thanks for watching, everybody. God bless and take care.